Today's session, we're going to be looking closely at a different topic, but one of equal value and importance, if not even greater value and importance. We're going to be looking at what is an annual notice of changes notification or a letter. What is it? What does it mean? Why do carriers have to send it out if I'm on an Advantage plan or a prescription drug plan? And so that's what we're going to be talking about here today. And we're going to get kind of deep into it. And I want to point out to you, I want to be a good teacher for all of you. So I want to share my screen and just model something here for a minute. When you get into AEP, which we're all on the precipice of that being, it's going to take place whether we want it or not. The most trusted resource is Medicare.gov. I say this often in the trainings that we do. Medicare.gov is one of the best websites I've ever seen. And I create websites, so I'm very critical. I'm also an educator by nature and by trade. So I want a resource that's credible, comprehensive, and easy to use. So if we're looking, if we're confused about what a plan notice of change is, okay? If I just go to the search box here and I search that annual notice of changes, it brings me up any resource that Medicare.gov has for me on that topic. And for today, we're going to look at this first link. Usually the first link is as deep as you need to go. By the way, you can chat and create an account even though you don't have Medicare and talk to representatives from Medicare.gov as an agent. But what is a plan annual notice of change? We call it an ANOC, ANOC. We love acronyms in this industry, right? What it is if you're in a Medicare plan, your plan will send you a plan notice of change each fall. And that letter, and now I'm starting to see emails, which I'm going to actually show you on today in our session, is going to address any changes. Those are the key words. Any changes in coverage, costs, and other things that you need to know before you decide to stay on that plan for January. When should you get it? September, by the end of the month. Who sends it? Your plan. So whatever plan you're in right now, Medicare Advantage or prescription drug, you're going to get that letter. What should you do if you get the notice? Okay. As I go through this and you're an agent and you're looking at what's on the screen right now, again, we all send out the canned marketing material. Come see me for your plan review. Understand all of your clients are going to, anybody that has any Medicare Advantage plan or PDP, which is everybody, is going to get this letter. What if, in addition to that canned marketing that we all send out and we have to, you send an email about this, you share a blog about this, you post about this, and you just give credit to Medicare.gov, you take this content, you share it out, maybe you make a little video and explain it yourself. This question right here, if you're the one educating, you have the ability to add you to this question as an answer. What should I do if I get this notice? Review any changes to decide whether the plan will continue to meet your needs in the next year. Well, if I'm a client, potential client, and I read this on Medicare.gov, who does this put the onus on? It puts it on me as the Medicare beneficiary. And then if not, it tells me to contact my plan. Let's stay on that highlighted bullet point for 1 second. Understand that this year, more than any other year, I've gotten phone calls from agents who have told me, much to my dismay, that they lost a client who contacted their plan, their carrier, to ask a service related question and somehow got transferred over to sales. Boy, if that happens on a benefit question, I don't want that to happen with my current or potential client if they have a question about their annual notice of changes letter. I want to add, if I'm the one sharing this content out, blog, email, letter, postcard, any way that I can, local radio show, presentation at the library. What should you do if you get this notice? Come see me. We'll sit down. We'll go over it together. I'll take my time and explain it to you and answer your questions. And oh, by the way, I won't only show you what's changing in your plan. We can compare your plan to every other available plan that might be suitable for your needs. And that's it. That's all the more information that's here. But frankly, that's all the information I need. There's nothing to be an expert in here. It's simple. But what isn't simple is your client or your potential client gets so much mail that they don't know what to trust. And so they're all confused no matter how intelligent they are. We have the ability to communicate that you're going to get a letter. Here's what it means. And oh, by the way, what should you do when you get it? You should come see me, and I'm going to help you evaluate it and make good sense of it. Easy enough. So from here, let's do something. I'm going to go ahead and show you an email that I literally got today because of my mom's power of attorney. We're going to look at it together. We're going to talk about it. Bonnie, your 2026 annual notice of changes is ready for you to review. So now not only are they sending the letter, but they're also sending me email. What are they telling me to do here? Review your 2026 changes. Let's see what else this says, okay? On behalf of the entire family, thank you for choosing us. Changes may affect some benefits. Take time to review your changes. They outline the annual enrollment period. And even though I'm the agent for my mom, the only resource that they're directing my mom to if she has questions is United Healthcare. And that doesn't make them bad people. That's what they have to do. There's no way the carrier can put every agent on every piece of literature that they send out. They're required to send this out. But I don't want my mom and I don't want any of my clients to call United Healthcare because I want them to call me. I'm their agent. This is the season where outside of those handful of questions that I might get a year from a small percentage of clients, I want to make sure I'm focused on retention. I'm focused on taking care of my clients. So let's look at it together. Let's see what this looks like. We're going to open it up. So here we again now have a landing page. All right. Let's just make sure there's no problematic information here. Okay. I'm looking to see if there's any. Boy, look at this right here. This is what I don't like. Okay. You want to ask questions about your Advantage plan? Call the carrier. Well, again, what if they call that carrier? They call this an advocate. What if that advocate is somebody who asks if I want to talk to somebody in sales? Right? And then down here at the bottom, look at the bottom, shop plans. Every carrier is set up this way. This is why we need to communicate. This is why we need to be the ones to share the information. Okay? So let's take a look at mom's annual notice of changes letter. And here we are, plan benefits and summary, evidence of coverage, and look down here at the bottom. Now, it took me down here, but think about it. If you were somebody who was on Medicare, maybe you weren't entirely at your full capacity, would you know what to open up here? So it doesn't make it glaringly obvious, but here's the annual notice of changes PDF. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Did you see what happened right there? I want to try that again. That was amazing. The first time I clicked it, I got an error message. So again, if I'm a member at home and I'm trying to look at this myself and I'm going to get that error message, I might just give up. So here's why I wanted to show you this. You think letter, you think a page or two, right? This is a 32-page document that every client on the same plan as my mom is going to receive by email and by mail. 32 pages, that's longer than the summary of benefits for the plan in the first place, right? And what it's going to do, the reason it's long, let's look at this for a second. Next week, our AEP Lunch and Learn will literally be this list. Things that you need to be aware of as an insured. This is going to be my blog for week 3 of this series. What could potentially change besides just your benefits, your providers, your pharmacy, your drug list, any benefit in the EOC, the evidence of coverage? This is what we want to communicate, not just call me for a no cost, no obligation review. Give them reason to call you. Be truthful about these things that can change, just like the carriers are. So here's what it looks like, right? You're enrolled as a member. You have the ability to make changes. You can change to a different plan. And an immediate note connecting them, not to me, but to customer service. Okay? I don't love that part. Again, why do I want to communicate? But what you're going to find in these letters, that's going to tell my mom if she does nothing starting in January, her plan's going to move over. Now, this is not a topic for today, but I know because my mom is on a managed care plan that I'm going to be moving her plan, because if I don't, I'm going to have to do so in 2026 anyway, due to the new rollout and regulations for managed care plans with Medicaid and Medicare. So while this statement is technically correct, I'm not sure that that's actually going to be the case in 2026. We'll see. Look at the table of contents for this letter, okay? Imagine being somebody who is up there in age and has lost some of your faculties. We have 35 pages here. Look at this. So right out of what it's going to do, and this is what we can sit down and go over just like we do with plans, is we can look at those differences. We can highlight them and talk about why they matter. Now with mom's plan, even though these changes are documented, let's go up here. So they added a tiered drug price for individuals that have Medicare and Medicaid, okay, depending on income and institutional status. That's different than last year. So that could be a change that affects my mom. If you don't qualify for extra help, you pay 25%. Now they have a tier. Part B premium reduction up to 20 cents, 170. So we see how this works, right? Look at this. They added to this here. You may only receive covered services from network doctors and medical with few exceptions. For more information, see the evidence of coverage. So I got to go read the 200-page book to learn what that actually means. What else is changing? But you see how this works, right? Hearing services, $3,200 allowance this year. Wow, this is huge. This is good news. $0 copay for up to 2 hearing aids every 2 years. So they changed it from a every year benefit to an every 2-year benefit. This is why we underline and highlight. Over the counter going from $270 a month to $256. It's going down. And importantly, this is a change only available if you have a qualifying chronic disability or illness. So there's a lot of people that have that this year who had it through the VBID program, VBID, Value-Based Insurance Design Program, who will not qualify because now carriers are using, under the regulations, a special supplemental benefits for chronically ill category. So imagine the power and the ability to help your clients if they bring this to you, or your potential clients if you offer to help them understand this intimidating letter. There's so much content here. Is the average consumer inept enough at this to do what I'm doing right now and to be able to zero in on really important things like that last piece that we just touched on, right? Or are they going to assume that because they had $270 a month for over the counter under the VBID model, that that's going to continue into 2026? Are they going to just look at the drop in monthly benefit and assume that they still have it, and then be blindsided by the fact that they don't because of this new qualification? That could be a blog itself. That could be a social media post itself. Make sure that you're maintaining your over-the-counter benefits if you're on a dual plan due to the potential change from VBID to SSBCI. And don't explain what it is, because that's what you're there for. But bring awareness to the fact that they should be on the lookout for that potential change and that potential impact. Let's look at one more. You're all very smart agents. I don't want to bore you by showing a ton. Actually, let's look at 2 more. What if you depend on the transportation and you're going from 60 one-way trips down to 36? You need that for medical appointments, and you go, so 36 one-way trips is only 18 appointments down from 30. What if you go to physical therapy twice a week? That's problematic, right? Vision care, you are going from $400 a year to $150. So this is what it looks like. And the bottom line is, as agents, we need to be aware of these letters. We need to communicate that our clients and potential clients are going to get these letters. And it is just like service area reductions, it's another door opener and another value added to the services that we provide. Now, the problem is, important disclaimer and note. As an agent, I am not permitted to go over this with a client until October 1st. Why? I'm not allowed to talk about 2026 benefits as an agent until October 1st every year. Those are the rules. But there's nothing in the rules that stops me from saying, bring your annual notice of changes letter for help understanding what might change on your plan during the annual enrollment period from October 1st through December 15th. I put the disclaimer on the bottom, and I can say that all day long. This is all about last week, this week, and next week, these AEP Lunch and Learns, empowering you to be a level above everybody in your area. Because I look all the time and nobody communicates this information as an agent. Everybody, and I mean everybody, says, make sure you understand your options. Call me for a no cost, no obligation review. We are here to help make Medicare easy. We are here to clear up the confusion. We see and hear that ad nauseum, as do your clients. I hope this session and our session on service area reductions and the one next week on this exact list of potential impacts helps you get in front of more people, take good care of more people, and become that local, true expert. Now, we can't say Medicare expert, but we can be experts in the senior health industry and the changes that people have to deal with every single year. Thanks for checking this webinar out. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Tune into our Facebook group for some supplemental resources that I'll be producing based on today's webinar. And if you happen to be live with us, stick around and I'll answer any questions that you have.